Baseball Day on Sportsnet, presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Welcome to Rogers Center, and that's the crowd getting ready to file in here today. And it is a jammed house once again. It plans to be the 7th straight sellout crowd. And it's Baseball Day in Canada, and it's a great crowd. You can see all of the Red Blue Jays jerseys. They have the number 15 on the back, and it is a special season, no doubt. And once again, the WestJet flight deck is packed to the gills with fans. They've been here all morning long, and this is a terrific atmosphere here at Rogers Center. Take a look at the lineup for the Detroit Tigers, and they've had a rough series here in Toronto so far. Miguel Cabrera is back at first base today, and he's been swinging a red-hot bat over his last 14 games. He's at .436, and down in that 5th spot, another great hitter is Victor Martinez. He's put up big numbers against Mark Buehrle. He's got 78 at-bats against Buehrle. He's at .359 during his career with 4 homers and 15 RBIs. This is a tough lineup for Mark Buehrle.
It certainly is. Mark Buehrle gets ready for his 26th start of the season. 13-6 with a very good ERA at .360. With a victory today, Buehrle would win his 200th game as an American leaguer. And he has had success against the Detroit Tigers in his career. He's 18-10. That's the 3rd highest win total versus any team in his career. Minnesota, he has beaten them 30 times. Kansas City 26, and now Detroit 18.
So the crowd has been filing in all morning long, and it will be another sold-out ballpark here today. Buehrle is set. Here's the first pitch of the game. It is outside, and we are underway. Rajai Davis hit 9th yesterday, but he's back in the leadoff spot this afternoon against Buehrle. And there's his strike. Buehrle quickly ahead, 1-2. Buehrle's been off in his last 2 starts. He hasn't been quite as sharp.
Certainly has. At Philadelphia and at Texas, combined 10 innings, 9 earned runs. He just hasn't been able to throw that fastball where he needs to.
Well, he needed that one right there. He catches the inside corner, and Rajai Davis strikes out. The defense has been as good as the bats and the pitching. It has really made the pitching very strong. Ben Revere had another terrific catch yesterday. Kevin Pillar and Jose Bautista. And then the infield, left side of the infield is important with Donaldson and Tulowitzki. Goins and Smoke on the right side, and Russell Martin behind the plate for Buehrle.
And Josh Donaldson has been great at 3rd base. Start number 121. It's 3rd most in the American League. He's got the 2nd most total chances per 9 innings in the American League. And they will probably need him today. Mark Buehrle throws a lot of ground balls to the left side of the infield.
Yeah, you can bet he'll get his fair share of opportunities today. Kinsler takes ball 2 up and away. And Kinsler, the second baseman, having another terrific offensive season. It's 3-0 now. Kinsler is 3 for 7 in this series with a home run. Made a 1st inning home run on Friday night. Kinsler takes a 1-out walk. It is Canada Baseball Day, and because of that, we had a special guest throughout the first pitch, none other than the Hall of Famer Robbie Alomar, and it's always a treat for fans when Alomar is in the house.
Yeah, and they were roaring when he took the mound. He threw a strike to Drew Hutchison. Yeah, it's always great when Robbie's in the house. Good to see him. Still looks like he can play.
Yes, he does. And he has really done a great job of staying involved in the community. Miguel Cabrera. He is 10 for 33 against Buehrle. That's a .323 average for the season. Once again, hitting .361. This is popped up. Goins and Smoke in pursuit. Foul ground. Goins gets there and makes the catch. Kinsler holds on at first.
Boy, that's classic defense right there with the first baseman holding the runner on. Ryan Goins has a better angle at that ball and runs it down. He made a play in yesterday's game just like that where he had to slide, made a catch. been playing some great defense at second base.
That was off Rajay Davis for the third out of the 8th inning when the game was well in hand, but he slid into foul territory and made a sliding catch. This is J.D. Martinez back in the lineup. He got the day off yesterday. J.D. went 0 for 4 on Friday night. Burley's the master at that, getting right-handed hitters to hit that inside pitch foul.
I think when that cutter is working like that, that's where you'll see those righties roll over on it. He's had problems locating over his last couple of starts. He's only had one walk, but he's been falling behind a lot of hitters.
In fact, Burley has done such a great job. He's only walked 5 batters in his last 10 starts. He's always one to throw it over. Weak ground ball to short. Tulowitzki circles, throws just in time. Nice play by Tulowitzki in support of Mark Burley. When we come back, Ben Revere will start things off top of the order. Ball day. Second time they have worn this red hats and the red piping on their uniform. Ben Revere right at the top of the order has been on fire, and John Gibbons has put him in the leadoff spot. He's got a 9-game hit streak, 19 for 37 during that hit streak. And Edwin Encarnacion, of course, he leads the world with 34 RBIs in the month of August, and that has also tied the franchise record for a single month. Carlos Delgado did it in 2003.
Red hot. Edwin Encarnacion. Alfredo Simon will make his 25th start of the season. This is his first year with the Tigers. It's his 3rd start in his career versus the Blue Jays. Suffered the loss in his last start. That was versus the Angels. Gave up 8 runs on 9 hits and 4 walks. Something to watch this afternoon in just 4 1/3 innings versus the Angels. Simon has had success in the past. He was an all-star last year as a National Leaguer with Cincinnati.
Last year he went 15-10 with 32 starts to make that all-star team. He misses with the first pitch. Simon is now 34 years old. He began his big league career with the Orioles. Ball on the strike. Why the switch with Revere and Tulowitzki?
Well, John Gibbons wanted to give Tulo a little bit of a break. He wants to snap him out of his little bit of a slump that he has had. Revere is swinging a hot bat, so it's a natural.
Miguel Cabrera steps on the bag at first to retire Ben Revere. Let's take a look at the Tiger defense, and they've had a good year defensively. A couple of Blue Jays in the outfield. Former Blue Jay Rajay Davis and Anthony Gosden left and center. J.D. Martinez back in right. Ed Castellanos and Jose Iglesias. Then Ian Kinsler and Miguel Cabrera from 3rd to 1st behind the plate. James McCann is a good-looking young catcher behind the plate.
In the outfield, J.D. Martinez, this is start number 120 in right field. 14 outfield assists this season. That's second in the American League behind Avisail Garcia, the Chicago White Sox, who has 16. He's got a great arm. They had some problems, Buck, in yesterday's ball game on balls into the outfield, especially in the center field.
Yeah, they forgot how many outs there were. 1 out. Josh Donaldson takes it down and away. It's 2-0. Well, it was a good day for Donaldson, but nobody really took note. Edwin Encarnacion stole the spotlight with 3 home runs, but Donaldson was good. Donaldson had a 3-hit day, drove in 2, scored 3 runs, did a little bit of everything.
Made a nice play defensively at third base.
Three and one now. Again, Simon throws that splitter, and the Blue Jays are very good at picking up that a pitcher won't throw strikes, and they'll just take.
If he throws that splitter, he better throw for a called strike, because the Blue Jays very patient at the plate. They won't swing at it.
Swing it and drive! Way back! Josh Donaldson! His 11th first inning home run is home run number 36.
That's the most in baseball. A quick attack in that first inning. 3-1 fastball, and he unloads.
Inside, Bautista for the 2-0 count. Donaldson. Every day you shake your head at this offense. If it's not one guy, it's another guy. Russell Martin had a home run yesterday.
3-1. You're looking for a fastball, and you're looking for it right down the middle. That's exactly what he gets from Alfredo Simon. Josh Donaldson finishes off that swing with another home run.
MVP, Prime Minister, whatever he wants.
Well, you can let it go. He was out here again today, taking batting practice on the field. That pays off in the first inning.
Well, you did a good job picking your first Jays game, that's for sure. Bautista. 3-1 now. Fly ball to left. Davis looking up into that bright sun and makes the catch. Sit down.
Designated hitter number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Everybody's anxious to toss their hats on the field again. 2 outs. Encarnacion, 34 RBIs this month. That ties Carlos Delgado's record. Delgado drove in 34 in June of 2003. Popped into the seats. I mean, everybody is sitting on the edge of their seats every time he steps to the plate.
Well, it'd be an understatement, I think, to say he's locked in, but he is locked in and driving the ball into the outfield. Everything is working together. He must be seeing the ball.
A 1-2.
You know, he's also driven in a run in 7 straight games, which is one off the team record.
Driven in a run in 7 straight and has an extra base hit in 7 straight. Of course, everybody wants to see that right elbow go up to the sky as he holds that elbow out when he rounds the bases, and people have brought parrots to the ballpark. The fact that it looks like he could perch a parrot on that arm. 2-2, 2 outs. Edwing. Incarnation. Boy, he is developing even more fans, and a terrific guy, almost embarrassed by the attention. High and deep to right. J.D. Martinez. Goodbye, home run. Oh, my.
You know what? It's not just fastballs or breaking balls. He's even hitting the best pitch from the pitchers. They offer up their best pitch, and Edwin's going to hit it hard somewhere. Alfredo Simon's got that splitter, and that looked like one, and didn't try and pull it, just went with it. Looked like his grand slam home run from yesterday.
0-1 to Tulowitzki. Grounded foul, may have broken his bat.
There is the splitter right there from Simon, and that one's got some side rotation to it. It's down and away, and look how Edwin stays with that ball. He's got his head down and drives through it and drives it out of the ballpark. We told you he hit a grand slam yesterday to right field. That's his 4th home run this season that he has hit over the right field wall. Amazing.
The Blue Jays now have 3 hitters with 30 or more home runs. That's a warning on Bob Davidson. He put the warning into effect. There has been no shenanigans in this series at all, and Josh Donaldson is saying, why did you do that? And look at Goins as well. Like, there has been no pitches inside.
No.
Nothing has been intentional. And Bob Davidson put the warning in right there. I don't agree with the warning, and I certainly don't agree with the pitch. But Bob Davidson, the veteran umpire, warns both benches for that pitch up and in.
Well, I think that works in the Blue Jays' favor. Mark Burley's got outstanding command. He's not going to hit anybody.
One and two. I think the problem you have, though, when you put a warning in like that, you have to be able to protect your hitters. And that has now been taken away. And it's awfully early in this game. As I mentioned, there was nothing to lead up to this other than the fact the Blue Jays are hitting the heck out of the baseball. But you can't really throw at batters just because they're hitting you. 2-2, 2 outs. This is the 3rd time in franchise history the Blue Jays have had 3 players with 30 or more home runs. 2000, Batista, Delgado, Fulmer, and Jose Cruz Jr. all with 30 or more homers. And then in 98. In 98, Jose Canseco, Carlos Delgado, and Sean Green all passed the 30 home run plateau.
And it's not even September yet. Think about that.
They got a month more of baseball into October. Full count to Tulowitzki. There's that splitter, and he strikes out. And the inning is over, but not without some first inning fireworks. Josh Donaldson with 1 out. His 11th first inning home run. And then 1 out later, nobody's hotter than Edwin Encarnacion. Raise that arm, Edwin.
Here at Rogers Center, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night games. Tickets are going fast, so go to BlueJays.com while you can. And I'm here once again in the WestJet flight deck, and I am surrounded by a sea of Blue Jay fans in red. The problem is, Buck, I'm sitting here in a black jersey. I stick out like a sore thumb, so Diana here is nice enough to let me wear one of hers. And why don't you hold this, Diana? I'm going to put on this jersey and fit in nicely, Buck. It's a beautiful day. Best seats in the house, Buck, I got to say. If you have tickets for the game, come out to the WestJet flight deck. And I'm just going to hold this baby up because it is Canada Baseball Day. Back to you, Buck.
Barry, I think we should do our broadcast from there one of these days. I think that would be a hoot to go out and do one from center field. This is Victor Martinez as the Tigers try to battle back from a 2-0 deficit. Martinez is the DH this afternoon, having a down season by his standards.
Injury problems to his legs, I think, have robbed him of his power. We have seen power before from Victor. Just 9 home runs this year.
Martinez last year had a terrific season. Bautista looking up into that sun, makes the catch. One down for Burley. So the third baseman will step in, Nick Castellanos. He's 1 for 8 in this series. Hitting over 300 over his last 12 games. Donaldson really hugging the line at third. They're going to pitch him inside. Burley missed. Now you see Donaldson down at third base, and as Pat mentioned, when Burley pitches, there's a lot of contact, and most of it's to the pull side.
Teams will load up with right-handed batters in the lineup versus Burley, and he's got that cutter that just comes in on the righties, and they have a tendency to roll over that ball and hit ground balls to the left side of the infield.
3-0. (18-10) for his career against the Tigers. Of course, Burley began his career with the Chicago White Sox. Pulled through the hole, and Donaldson said, "You missed your spot." He got it out over the plate, and it went right into the 5-6 hole. Donaldson was set up for the pull, and he was baffled by that. He didn't even move.
I don't think he saw it, Buck. It was a changeup down and away, and he pulls the ball, and Josh doesn't even move. I don't think he saw it.
That's a good call. He's looking very confused right there. You see, he never even moved, never reacted. No. So that's exactly what happened. He didn't see the ball off the bat.
And on a day like today, it's very bright. You can see he's got his sunglasses on already. There's a lot of glare. And right behind the on-deck circle, you got a lot of white shirts. You can't pick up the baseball sometimes.
This is James McCann. He's caught all 3 games. And there's the sun, of course, that's a problem on pop-ups. But on a bright day like today, sometimes infielders can't pick up the ball off the bat. There's a fly ball to center. Pilar using that glove to shade his eyes, makes the catch. 2 outs. Burley is a joy to play defense behind for a couple of reasons. First, he works quickly. And secondly, he throws a lot of strikes. We mentioned he's only walked 6 batters in his last 7 starts.
You know,
last 10 starts.
I don't have any way of finding out how many great plays are played behind him. I don't think they keep a stat for that. But if there's somebody on this rotation that has a lot of great plays behind him, I think it's Mark Burley for the reason you just said.
Yeah, everybody's on their toes, and everybody knows anytime he throws a pitch, it could be put into play. Jose Iglesias, the shortstop, lines it down the left side, and that ball is going to hook foul, just barely foul. Ben Revere chasing it.
Well, when you work quickly, you throw a lot of strikes, the guys stay engaged out on the field, and they want to make plays for you.
And Burley knows that. I mean, he's been very appreciative, and you know, with Brett Laurie here in the past, a very good athlete at third, and Donaldson now. He said, I have a lot of good plays behind me, especially at third base.
He needs that pitch right there, I think. Little cutter on the inside part of the plate. Iglesias took it from pitch tracker. It looks like it might have been a strike.
Yep, he should be out. 1-2. Tulowitzki. He'll go to first just in time. Looks like he might go to second for the force out, but goes across the diamond. Just watching the fireworks in the first inning, and Josh Donaldson and Edwin Encarnacion have both gone deep. And you know, Pat, we talked to a lot of baseball people over the course of the summer, and how many times, and we talked to Kurt Gibson this morning, the broadcaster for the Tigers, and this team is really amazing. A lot of good baseball people.
Well, the thing that's amazing for me is we know that Alfredo Simon's got a great splitter. And we asked Kurt Gibson, said, hey, how many does he throw in the strike zone for called strikes? Because I think that's going to be important, because if it's not in the strike zone, they're not going to swing at it. And sure enough, we saw that in the first inning. He tried it a couple of times to Josh Donaldson, fell behind 3-1, fastball, see you, 1-0. Same thing happened to Edwin Encarnacion, who then hit a splitter in the strike zone out of the ballpark for another home run. That's pretty good hitting when you can do that.
The Big Smoke is at the plate, and the Big Smoke sends regards. Justin Smoke with a 1-2 count, playing at first base. And Smokey's been swinging the bat pretty well lately. Yesterday he had a great day. He was on base 5 times. He had a pair of doubles and 3 walks. You know, we talk about how prolific the offense has been, and scored 2 more runs. Now they're 104 runs better than the second place New York Yankees. 104 runs.
100 more runs better than the other second place team, and they're starting to hit home runs again. They now lead the American League in home runs.
Well, we knew this would be a good homestand for the offense. They always hit well here, and they play very well in this ballpark. And you see the most runs scored in baseball, 711. There's only one other team that has scored over 600, and that's the Yankees.
Isn't that interesting?
It's a fly ball to left field. Rajay Davis has a long way to go, and he's got the speed to get there. That's a fair ball.
Those top 3 teams that we just showed right there all live in the American League East. Who said the American League East was down this year?
Yeah, Blue Jays didn't get the memo. Catcher Russell Martin. Russell hit a opposite field home run in the 7th. One batter after Edwin Encarnacion hit the grand slam. 2-run homer for Russell, his 16th of the season. He's closing in on a career high at 21 for the Yankees. Russell Martin's father, Russell Sr., has been here for the series, and he certainly picked quite a series to come over to Toronto and watch his son.
You know, I always think that Russell is going to get it going when he is taking these types of swings where he's staying behind the baseball and hitting it to right field. This one right over the fence in right center field. That's where he does most of his damage, to that gap in right center.
Russell has seen a very conservative strike zone when he's catching, and thought that might have been one of those borderline pitches. That's another splitter, and that had late movement on it and in a good spot. You mentioned Simon began his career with the Baltimore Orioles. He's from the Dominican Republic. His best season was that 2014 season last year in Cincinnati. Had a career high 15 wins. In Baltimore, when he started, he had a couple cups of coffee in 2008 and 2009, and then 2010, his first full season, they used him as a closer. Had 17 saves.
That fastball splitter combination would have been a great combo for a closer, but they put him in the starting rotation. He's given him some innings.
Another good split. Simon, parts of 4 seasons in Baltimore, then he went to Cincinnati for 3 years. In Cincinnati, he was 24-16. Split his time between the rotation and the bullpen in Cincinnati as well. 3-2 to Russell Martin. This one is foul. Bounced past the third baseman.
That's how you make it tough on the pitcher right there. Just keep fouling it off. Russell's always been one of those kind of hitters that gets a lot of pitches per at bat. And he's doing it again right here against Simon. Working that count. This pitch now will be number 40. And it's only the second inning.
There've only been 4 outs recorded by Simon. Oh, that hit right on top of his foot. So jumps right back in the batter's box and gets his foothold once again.
He is one tough guy, isn't he? He has been getting beat up behind the plate. It's almost September. That one right off the instep of Martin. And now he gets beat up while he's hitting. And look at him right back up and into the box.
What about good at bat for Martin? A 1-hour walk.
Well, let's take a look at the scouting report for Alfredo Simon. The tall right-hander fastball. It's a little 90s fastball with some pretty good movement, but his bread and butter pitch, I think, the one that he wants to get the strikeouts with is that splitter. He'll throw that 37% of the time, along with a cutter and a curveball. And when you get to 2 strikes, that percentage for that splitter goes up to 49%. So the Blue Jays will put that in their memory banks and figure out when they get to 2 strikes, they'll start looking for it.
Kevin Pillar, the center fielder, is average at .264. Pillar starting to swing the bat much better lately. Kevin is second on the team with 35 multi-hit games. He gets it going, he can rack up some hits in a ball game, and Canada loves Pillar. Boy, I tell you what, he has captured their hearts with his great defense to begin with, and he's come up with some big hits.
He's been money down in the bottom of that lineup for the Blue Jays, getting on base. He scored 62 runs.
Yeah, he's an everyday player, and remember back in the spring he was fighting for a position on his team, not only in center field.
Kevin Pillar, you said he's starting to swing a hotter bat. Well, none hotter than that right there. Hanging breaking ball, home run number 9 for Pillar.
Indeed. Ryan Goins. You know, they say hitting is contagious. Goins had a 3-hit game yesterday.
Brooke Jacoby asking him, was that a breaking ball? And he said yes. Was it in? He said yes. And he knew what to do with that one. Watch where this pitch is. It's a curveball. And watch that thing spin and stay on the inner half right over the plate. It was an 0-2 pitch.
Goins bunts through it. It's 1-2 now.
You know, it's a pitch that he saw the previous one. So he knew where he saw that curveball before, and then once he hung it, he was able to recognize it and hit it hard. 0-2 hanging breaking ball.
Yeah, and especially back-to-back, where you have a real good chance you can pick up the spin immediately because you've just seen that pitch. So when you go back-to-back with breaking balls, you better bury that second one. 2-2 to Ryan Goins. Nobody wants to miss a pitch. Yesterday, Blue Jays scored in the first 4 runs of the ball game. They scored 3 in the first with the Encarnacion 3-run home run. They get a pair of solo home runs here this afternoon in the first inning. You know, Russell Martin deserves a lot of credit too, because he had a heck of a bat.
10 pitches.
Anthony Ghost, the center fielder, back. He turns and faces the infield, makes the catch. 2 down. Lots of stats are broken down at the halfway point. The All-Star break, and since the All-Star break, the Tigers have now given up 57 home runs, more than the Mariners, Red Sox, Indians, and the Blue Jays. Look at the Blue Jays. They have kept it in the ballpark. 14th in the American League, and they've allowed just 34 home runs.
Just 34 in the American League since the All-Star break. Tigers, you know, they've made some changes to their pitching staff. No David Price, obviously, and Anibal Sanchez has been on the disabled list. And they're going with a lot of young kids. But in that ballpark, that's really saying something in Comerica Park, which is a big ballpark.
Seattle as well. Mariners is a big ballpark. Ben Revere behind 0-2.
Justin Verlander, that's him right there. He threw a gem last time out.
The Blue Jays are getting some breaks during this hot spell. Missing Verlander is one of them. You remember when the A's were here prior to a couple of road trips ago, they missed Sonny Gray. Sonny Gray had a bad back and it was scratched from his start. I mean, there have been a few breaks. And
no Cole Hamels when they played Philadelphia before he got traded. They didn't face him when he got traded to Texas.
Fly ball to center field. Anthony Ghost backpedaling, and the Blue Jays are done in the bottom of the second, but they got their work done early. Russell Martin with a 1-out walk set the table for Kevin Pillar. An 0-2 hanging breaking ball over the wall in left, home run number 9.
baseball day on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Mark Buehrle jumps ahead of Anthony Gose with a first pitch strike. Gose hit a 2-run home run off of R.A. Dickey on Friday night. A 2-out, 2-run home run that knocked Dickey out of the game. R.A. picked up his 9th win of the season. He's just a game under 500 now, and he has done a terrific job. Dickey 6-0 over his last 9 starts. What can you say?
That hasn't been said already. You know, again, Mark Buehrle on the mound throws a lot of strikes. Ryan Goins gets a great jump on this ball. Lays out to make another fine play behind his starting pitcher. I'll tell you, he has played some great second base since they have put him in the starting lineup.
Well, he's played every day, and he started against the left-hander Boyd on Friday. The Blue Jays are playing with 6 men on the field. They must be. Defense has been terrific, especially on the infield.
This was a R.A. Dickey's game, and you can see how far Ryan is playing in the outfield, and then the strong and accurate throw over at first base, and then his buddy right at shortstop, Tulowitzki, throws a bullet across the field, picked by Justin Smoke. Josh Donaldson gets into the act in the game yesterday with a backhand and a strong throw, and then another one today by Goins. They're just playing so good on the infield. And Louis Rivera was telling me the other day, he just feels like when Troy Tulowitzki came here, he just seems to elevate everybody on that infield. And they're making plays.
And there's a lot of communication going on with Tulowitzki at short. He will talk to Donaldson about positioning. Donaldson has more experience in the American League. And you can have all the meetings you want. You can get all the scouting reports you want. But when you see batters live during the game, you see different things that help you adjust yourself defensively. Maybe Buehrle's not throwing quite as hard as he did last time. Maybe you play a little bit more to the pull side. So fly ball to left. Revere's got a beat on it. That'll do it. Mark Buehrle needed just 9 pitches to retire the side in order. Jays. It'll be Donaldson, Bautista, and Encarnacion.
Well, let's show you where you don't want to throw the ball. This is Josh Donaldson's home run heat map. It's middle in, and then Jose Bautista middle and up. He can hit the ball out of the ballpark that way. And then Edwin, you can see probably the biggest area that is red. Why don't you just fill in that whole strike zone with red the way he is swinging the bat right now? He is doing it all for the Blue Jays.
Josh Donaldson takes a first pitch strike, taking all the way. Remember, there has been a warning in place put there by Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire. That happened in the Tulowitzki at bat in the first. Pretty good pitch. Ball on the strike to Donaldson.
Well, that heat map showed it all, didn't it? Where you don't want to throw the ball to some of these sluggers.
What are you doing this winter? Bouncing ball towards short. Iglesias throws it to first to retire Donaldson. Now, the country has been taken by storm with this ball club, and the team had a major overhaul that started in November, and it continued right up into August with the addition of Cliff Pennington.
All the other guys they picked up right at the trade deadline seem to mix right into this clubhouse and fit the fabric of this ball club.
David Price, big part of the overhaul. Price will open up the Cleveland Indians series tomorrow night. Jose Bautista, he just missed a home run in his first at bat. Just got underneath it and skied it to left field. We mentioned the Blue Jays now with 3 30 home run hitters. Another splitter off the end of the bat. Iglesias waits on it, throws quickly. Well, yesterday on Saturday afternoon, there was quite a show here. Edwin Encarnacion hit a grand slam to right center, and that was his 3rd home run of the afternoon. The Blue Jays players loved it, and then the fans reacted as if they were at a hockey game.
And here come the hats. They come running down, raining down out of the stands. Edwin enjoyed that. The fans enjoyed it, and Edwin's got to return all those hats now. How's he going to get them back to the owner?
So if you threw your hat on the field, you can reach out to Edwin. He's got your hat. He said he will sign them. Boy, what a moment, and it was, you know, just a special moment. You can see the joy in Edwin's face, and he's a very shy guy, and he doesn't like the attention, but the hats are perched and ready to go this afternoon, and there's a ball off the end of the bat, carries to the warning track. Even his outs are loud. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the 4th. The Blue Jays have a 4-0 lead.
receiving, ensuring all dangerous goods were properly prepared for shipment by air, thus preventing any delays and ensuring mission success. Corporal Angela Gore, today's Sunday salute. Buck, a day does not go by that somebody on this Blue Jays team doesn't reach out and do something incredible like that.
Absolutely. Ben Revere just reacted. He saw Corporal Gore standing on the warning track waiting to be introduced, and he came by and gave her a hug. It was terrific. Big breaking ball in there for a strike. Ben Revere gave a terrific post-game interview yesterday with Barry Davis, and he was so engaging and so emotional about what had happened, and he was part of that terrific day. He witnessed it firsthand with Edwin Encarnacion.
And now he wants to take everybody on in NHL for his game.
PS4, yeah. There's a high fly ball into center. Pilar getting an angle on that sun makes the catch.
Yeah, it's a likable group that the Blue Jays have now. Just good guys, you know, care about each other and want to play the game the right way.
Yeah, Mark Burley talked about that when we were in Philadelphia. I sat down on the bench with him and we were talking about the club. He said this club does a lot of things together. They come early, play video games together. They come out, they kick the soccer ball around. They go to dinner together. And you know what? They're pulling for each other. And that's how you build chemistry. You put a good bunch of guys together with a common goal, and it becomes a team very quickly. J.D. Martinez grounded out to short. This time he's behind Burley 0-2.
And you know what happens when you build a team like that and you have that type of fabric within that clubhouse? You don't want to let your teammates down. So you run hard to first base. You give it a little bit of an extra effort and dive for balls into the stands or into the outfield or run into the wall. You give of yourself for the betterment of the team.
Yeah, and when you see a teammate doing it, you know, then you want to do it. You want to get to the act and back it up. It's all about a competitive spirit. Burley's on his game today. You can see the swings, and they're inconsistent. They're off balance. He's changing speeds and hitting his spots.
Starting to get a little bit more movement on that cutter, on that fastball. He's really good when he controls that cutter on the inside part of the plate and the outside.
Donaldson saw that one. Throws it high, but Smoke stretches at first.
Canada Baseball Day is presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
It is Canada Baseball Day here at Rogers Center, and on Sundays they play in Oregon here before the game, and they play both national anthems on an organ. And I got to tell you, when the crowd sang "Oh Canada," it was pretty special. And there was 44,000 people here, and everybody in tune singing "Oh Canada." It was a very special national anthem here on Sunday. It was really great. Everybody was involved, and they've picked up on the enthusiasm of this team, and they certainly showed their pride in Canada. It was awesome. It was a great moment.
Yeah, every seat was filled at that time, and they were getting into it.
Victor Martinez with a 2-out single. Now Nick Castellanos. Castellanos hit a ball through the hole at third that I don't think Josh Donaldson saw. He never reacted, didn't move, and the ball was past him into left. It's a high fly ball. Bautista in right. Puts that glove up and stays with it and makes the catch. Look at Goins. He's all the way out there in right field to help him out. Everybody is picking up on this great defense. course, today.
Buck, Tigers legend Kirk Gibson is enjoying his return to the broadcast booth. Now, he did take quite a bit of time off following his diagnosis of Parkinson's disease back in August. That's a neurological disorder that affects your motor skills and can make speech difficult. Gibson told me that he's being very diligent in voice and movement therapy, a program he calls the Big and Loud. He says he's doing quite a lot of travel, helping to raise awareness on the disease that has no cure and cannot be slowed down. He did say there is medication he could take to try and mask symptoms, something he's considering down the road. But he wanted everybody to know that he is, quote unquote, attacking the disease, enjoying the things he can enjoy, and above all else, he says he's had a great life. He's very grateful for the life baseball has afforded him. Buck.
That is a great story, Hazel, and we had a chance to visit with Kirk this morning. He came into our booth and we were chatting for a while, and he's very measured in his conversations, and he certainly loves being at the ballpark. We know that, and we got to know him very well through Jack Morris over the last couple of years, and what a great competitor, and he's not going to give up.
Yeah, if you've ever played against Kirk, and you did, how aggressive he was on the field, and Hazel just talked about it, that he's going to aggressively attack this. I'm sure he's going to live that part of his life the same way he played the game of baseball.
Absolutely, and good on him that he would go around to raise awareness of the disease. Of course, he was a great football player at Michigan State. And then you just have to think if those two things are related, you know, all the head traumas that you take in the course of a football career. Troy Tulowitzki. He chases that high fastball. The beauty of being a shortstop is that it's one of three positions where you can have an impact without hitting. And he has done that. And he's gotten some big hits as well, but he's not hitting like he's used to.
Yeah, he will hit. There's no question about that. And it was John Gibbons who wanted to make the switch to take a little pressure off of Tulo in that number one hole. So he talked to him, and Tulo said, look, I'll do anything you want me to do. I just want to win. So they took him out of that spot today. They've dropped him down just to get that bat going, take the pressure off of him a little bit.
Things have gone a little bit better over his last 7 games. Of course, he had a terrific debut with the Blue Jays. This is a liner to right. Martinez didn't pick it up. It's over his head, off the wall. Tulowitzki will get to second standing up. Boy, that ball carried, and what an effortless swing it was.
It was controlled. You say it was effortless, but the ball jumped off of his bat to right field. He's got some power. He starts coming around hitting. There it is right there. A pitch down and away, and it just took off halfway out into the outfield. Really fooled J.D. Martinez, so it's another extra base hit for Tulowitzki and the Blue Jays.
Tulowitzki hit a home run on a low pitch here on Friday against Matt Boyd, and he went down and just stayed on it and drove it out of the ballpark to left. Leadoff double here in the fourth. Polk hasn't gotten an awful lot of fastballs lately, and that one beat him inside.
Teams have been throwing a lot of junk, if you will, change-ups, curveballs, slow curveballs. That time they heat them up.
Pulled on the right side. Tulowitzki moves to third. Smoke gets him over. The sun during afternoon games here, especially late in the season, really is a problem for the defense. Bautista and Wright was battling it, and watch Goins.
Keep your eye on Ryan Goins, the second baseman. He remembers what happened in yesterday's game. That's the second baseman all the way out into right field. You want to talk about team defense and helping out your teammate. Ryan Goins shows you why he's been so good at second base this year.
Boy, he has really earned his keep with his glove, and now the bat's coming around. The infield is in for Russell Martin. He walked and scored his first time up.
You know, Buck, and one last thought on that. Don't think that doesn't get lost from the coaches. They saw it. John Gibbons saw that. His infield instructor, Louis Rivera, saw it also.
Another breaking ball. 0-2. Now Russell's really going to have to battle. You know he's going to get a splitter in this at bat with Tulowitzki at third and 2 strikes.
At some point you're going to try and make contact, get it into the outfield.
High and deep to left. Get up, ball gone.
That is the second 0-2 2-run home run that Alfredo Simon has given up this afternoon. Kevin Pillar and now Russell Martin.
My, oh my. You just can't make a mistake. I don't care where you are in this lineup. Smoke did a good job getting the runner over to third, setting up that good at bat for Russell Martin. Focus is really keen with that runner at third, less than 2 outs.
That looked like a sinker that didn't sink, stayed right there for him. And with that nice swing, pulls it out of the ballpark. Home run number 17.
Pillar knocks Simon off the mound, and he is rewarded with an infield hit. Iglesias made a terrific play just to get the ball on its way to first.
Boy, you gotta be in a good fielding position after you deliver that baseball towards home plate. This thing comes back quick. A little slider. Pillar's right on top of it, and Simon gets a glove on it, deflects it over to shortstop. That would have been one heck of a play by the Tigers, but Pillar will beat it for another hit.
That was a shot right back to the mound, and Kevin Pillar is 2 for 2. Gaining more fans with every swing of the bat. Ryan Goins, the number 9 hitter. Kevin Pillar, his home run came on an 0-2 pitch off Simon. It's the first time he's hit an 0-2 home run in his career. There goes Pillar, and this is driven to center. Pillar is all the way around. He forgot how many outs there are. Ghost is going to get it back to the infield, and Pillar's got a chance to beat it, and he will. Anthony Ghost, a very lackadaisical effort in center field. Pillar was all the way to the shortstop position, past the bag at second, and Ghost just kind of flipped it back in toward the infield.
Yeah, it took his time, wasn't really aware of what was happening out on the field. Watch it one more time. Blue Jays play hit and run, and Pillar has trouble picking up the ball, so he is almost to third base. Watch Ghost, though. He catches it and just kind of flips it in and short hops the cutoff man. That allows Pillar to get safely back to first base. Right here, you got to be aware. You got to be aware of what's happening, and the corner outfielders have got to help him. Let them know where the runners are, and you can see the frustration from the starting pitcher, Simon. That should have been a double play.
Ghost made a bad throw on Friday night in the first inning on Encarnacion's double. He missed 2 cutoff men, and that allowed Bautista to score all the way from first.
And then the play yesterday where Josh Donaldson sent the ball to center field. He caught it, thought there were 2 outs, and Ryan Goins could score from second base on a fly ball to center.
Ben Revere is 0 for 2. He has been inserted into the leadoff spot this afternoon. And a lot of people are wondering why would John Gibbons mess with this? Including myself. But we talked to Gibby about it. He said he just wants to get Tulowitzki out of the spotlight a little bit, and Ben Revere's been red hot. Revere profiles very well as a leadoff guy, and there aren't many true leadoff hitters in baseball.
Pure leadoff guys. He can take a lot of pitches. His batting average over the last few years has been way up there. Doesn't strike out a lot, and he can run. So there's another option for the Jays.
He has 8 walks since joining the Blue Jays. Russell Martin and Jose Bautista were college baseball teammates down in Florida. So they've known each other for a long time. And now they are hopeful of sharing the special season right here with the Blue Jays. Three and 1, 2 outs. Donaldson waits on deck. Blue Jays have 6 runs on 6 hits. They've hit 4 home runs already this afternoon. There goes Pilar. Ball 4. Donaldson will come to the plate with 2 on. He hit a home run in his first at bat, but it was this home run on Friday night that has everybody buzzing.
Yeah, they're still talking about a ball down and in, and the only question was it going to be fair or foul? He hooks it off the 5th deck down the left field line, and the next day I went down there and I stood at home plate and looked up to see how far that is. It's far. It was a bomb.
The fans are going to have a tough month having to chant MVP for another month. James McCann, those signals are the defense for a possible double steal.
Just to let them know, the infielders, where he's going to throw that baseball. I don't think the Blue Jays are going to run now in this situation.
That's going to reach the 5th deck. He got the head out on that one. Donaldson clutch all season long. 105 RBIs for the Blue Jays' 3rd baseman. Donaldson with 34 home runs as a 3rd baseman. That's second only to Tony Batista in franchise history. Batista hit 41 home runs in 2000. And that's not out of reach. He gets jammed and Simon knocks it down, but it stays close to the mound. That'll end the inning. But the Blue Jays with another home run this inning. Russell Martin will go to the 5th, 6-0 Jays. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Gamble and Greg Zahn.
live or on demand in True HD. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and much more. It also includes a free At-Bat 15 subscription. Watch baseball at home, at the office, or on the go. Season-long subscription packages are available. Visit BlueJays.com for more details. And Buck, as this pennant race continues, it gives you more opportunities to watch your Blue Jays, whether you're sitting in front of your TV or sitting on a dock fishing somewhere. You do not have to miss a single minute.
And you don't want to miss an inning. You don't want to miss an at-bat. On defense, you'll see great plays. And at the plate, doesn't matter who's hit. Might see something special. Says James McCann, the catcher. He flew out to center field his first time up. Mark Burley has really had his good command today, and that's been missing for the last 2 starts.
Command of that changeup down and that cutter.
This ball is down the left side, and it's going to hook foul.
Certainly helps that the Blue Jays have given him an early lead in this game. Be a little bit more aggressive.
Well, and he is like an artist, and with this comfortable lead, he can use broader strokes and have to be as fine. But why not? He strikes out McCann. That's just the second strikeout of the afternoon for Burley.
You put that glove there, Mark Burley's going to hit it. He's been using this little cut fastball against righties and locking them up. You can see the spin, how he gets those fingers on top of the ball and cuts it right on that inside corner and freezes McCann for the strikeout.
Jose Iglesias jumps back from an inside pitch. There he makes an adjustment and finds the corner.
In and out. In and out.
I tell you, as a catcher, these are the kind of games where you really have a lot of fun, because Burley seems as though he can hit his glove anytime he wants it. When Martin asks for a pitch inside, he hits it, and they move outside. It's just like you're playing with a full toolbox. Up the middle, Goins behind second, barehands it. Iglesias runs well and beat it out. Anybody else, Goins would have thrown him out. Infield hit for the Tigers shortstop.
Iglesias gets a lot of infield hits. A pretty good approach right here. He hits it. But really, no one can make that play. Dies on the ground, but Goins is going to try. And he came oh so close. That is so tough for a second baseman to catch it barehanded on the short hop and then make an accurate throw.
Yeah, you're right. That second hop really died, and he had to bend down and barehanded it through all in one motion. Anthony Goins took a hit away from Ghost his last time up. A little soft liner, looked like it was headed for center, and Goins dove and made the catch. It was a big play. That was the first out of the inning. Couple inside, then he throws one outside. You just don't have a book on Mark Burley.
Threw him a curveball his first time up that he swung and missed on. That might be the call right here. Something off speed.
Pulled the smoke. Oh, now they got Iglesias hung up. He stopped anticipating a rundown, and now he is tagged out. He tried to run into Tulowitzki, but Marvin Hudson, the umpire, said no contact, and they eventually tag him out. Another good defensive play in support of Mark Burley. Absolutely, and the baseball fans certainly want to jump on board and help out that family with their loss. Very sad story indeed. Bautista turns on that inside pitch. Oh, 2. Bautista has flied out to left and grounded to short. There's that splitter in the dirt, and you're right, Blue Jays, when they see that splitter out of his hand and it's down about knee high, they won't chase.
They won't chase, and they're going to make him get that ball into the strike zone. So if he's going to get strikeouts and he's going to use that splitter, he's going to have to throw it closer to the strike zone.
Fly ball to right. J.D. Martinez hustling back and gets there, makes the catch in front of the scoreboard.
Designated hitter number 10, Edwin Encarnacion.
Edwin has set a new record for the Blue Jays, most RBIs in a month. He passed Carlos Delgado with his first inning solo home run. He now has 30 home runs.
Now hit it 25 straight, too.
30 home runs, 91 RBIs, a 25-game hit streak. That ties Scott Rowland.
Scott Rowland did that in 2009. There it is right there. Sean Green has the record of 28. Did that in 1999. Ole and Shannon Stewart both have a 26-game hit streak, and now there's Edwin, number 4, and it's hard hit.
It is real hard. 11 home runs during the 25-game hit streak, 11 doubles, and now 35 RBIs.
They have stats for everything, including how hard he hits the ball. It's called a hard hit rate.
Oh, look at that pitch. Now that's different. He lost one in there, just trying to take the sting out of his bat, and he hit him with the pitch.
Well, you know what? He was warned earlier. He can't get anything on that one. That was the lob, if you will, the Ephus pitch. Just trying to show something different. We told you he's been hitting everything. Watch him just try and lob this one in there, and everyone takes it right off that elbow pad.
I've never seen Simon do this, and you can see he just flips it up there hoping he would swing at it, and he hits him with it. And Edwin was surprised. Never seeing a pitch like that from Alfredo Simon.
I guess you got to try something different.
Because whatever Cabrera said, you can't hit that one. I know you can't hit that one.
Try something different, because whatever you were doing before is not working.
Yeah, and he has just been ridiculous during this hit streak. He had a double on Friday night, 3 home runs yesterday, homered this afternoon. Tulowitzki cuts right through that fastball. It's 1-2 to the shortstop. Tulowitzki doubled over the head of J.D. Martinez in his last at bat. A line drive that just took off on Martinez. Now tipped into the catcher's mitt. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Atlanta's going through a tough stretch right now, and they basically gave the Yankees a game last night. Didn't play very well at all. The Yankees took advantage of some shaky defense. Luis Severino won that game for New York, his second win of the season. Jamie Campbell made a point about the Yankees trying to match the Blue Jays with runs, and they might do that on a day, but they're not going to catch them for the season.
Did you say they've outscored them by over 100 runs?
104 runs, maybe before they hit those home runs. But the Blue Jays are on a historic pace, and we get comparisons, we get information all the time about the Blue Jays. Six more runs this afternoon. Three and 0 to the first baseman Justin Smoak. Drew Verhagen worked on Friday night, loosening up for the Tigers. Three and 0 to Smoak. Takes a strike. The Blue Jays have now scored 715 runs. Now listen to this. The Blue Jays have scored 715. That's more than 23 clubs scored last year. Last year, the Twins scored 715 for their whole season. And that was the seventh most. The Blue Jays scored 723 for their whole season. But only the Dodgers, the Blue Jays, the A's, the Rockies, Tigers, and Angels have scored more runs over the course of last season than the Blue Jays have scored today.
And they still have the month of September and a couple of games in October.
3 and 2, 2 outs, and Encarnacion will take off on the pitch.
The team record is 894 runs in a season, and they are on pace to get close to that this year.
And there goes Encarnacion, and Smoak hits it high and deep to center. Ghost looking up on the warning track. He turns around and makes the catch just shy of the wall in center. Smoak gave it a ride. We head to the 6th at 6-0, and here comes the Home Hardware cleanup crew. Brought to you by Home Hardware.
with the last race of the year. One driver will be crowned the champion during the GoPro Grand Prix of Sonoma. Catch the action as the drivers battle for the top spot live today, 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on Sportsnet 1. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry. Lots of things going on in the sports world, but certainly the major focus in baseball has been on the Toronto Blue Jays and the way they have beaten up on teams. The Blue Jays, another terrific month. 20 wins in the month of August. And they are shooting at franchise records in every category offensively. Rajai Davis 0-2 behind Mark Buehrle. Buehrle with 5 innings under his belt this afternoon. This is a liner headed for left. That's going to get over the head of Ben Revere. He plays it off the wall, and Rajai Davis will coast into second with a leadoff double.
Canada Baseball Day is presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
It is Canada Baseball Day, and it's all presented by Honda. Everybody got those red Blue Jays jerseys with Canada 15 on the back. And I tell you what, the crowds have been terrific, coming out in record numbers. And Kinsler fouls one straight back.
And getting into the games, too. I mean, really getting into the games. You and I were talking before the game today about the difference of the crowd now than it was, let's say, 20-something years ago when the Blue Jays were in first place winning World Series.
It's a different atmosphere for sure, and obviously it's been a long drought since the team has been to the postseason. A lot of younger fans weren't even born when the Blue Jays went to the World Series for the last time. And it's a young, kind of upbeat atmosphere, and there's a lot of music going on during pregame, a lot of people involved, and Goins tried to sneak behind Rajai Davis. Russell Martin with the throw. But it's a great atmosphere, and the players feel it. They really sense the energy in this ballpark, and just gets you all pumped up.
Well, that place wasn't here 20-something years ago. And that looks like the place to be. That's where I would like to watch a game.
Line to Donaldson. He'll go to second. He throws it into right. Bautista will hustle it back in, and Rajai Davis will go to third base. Donaldson just banking on Goins getting there, and he said it was my bad. He unloaded in a hurry in an effort to double up Rajai Davis on that liner and throws the ball into right.
Trying to make a play right there. The ball's just hit so hard by Kinsler. It doesn't give Goins a chance to get to the bag, and the throw's a little off. And he will be charged with his 17th error as Davis moves over to third.
Miguel Cabrera with a man at third and 1 out. The infield will play back. Blue Jays have a 6-0 lead. Well, Cabrera really changes his sights. And look at him looking out to Buehrle. Says, how can you jam me with that? These two guys, 2 veterans going head to head. And he says, hey, get it out of there, man. Ground ball. Donaldson dives for it, gets to his feet, and throws Cabrera out. The run comes in. Rajai Davis scores. And Donaldson made another terrific play at third to throw out Cabrera.
The RBI 66 for Miguel Cabrera on the ground out. Josh Donaldson made an error last play, so he's got to make up for it right here, and he does. Takes a hit away from Cabrera and records the out over at first base.
6-1 Blue Jays. Ground ball. Tulowitzki. Smoke. The inning is over. Blue Jays give up a run, but they've got a 5-run cushion as they are set to bat bottom of the 6th. is into the ball game. His 7th appearance. He pitched here on Friday night. They have made the pitching change. Russell Martin will lead things off for the Blue Jays, and we picked up on a couple of things. He's made some adjustments.
Look at yesterday. His time up, he is wearing the batting gloves, and he strikes out. So his next time up, take a look at his hands. He's not going to wear the batting gloves. He's going to go old school. And what does Russell do? He hits a home run to right field without the batting gloves. Got the good feel on that bat. So let's pick it up again today. He's not wearing the batting gloves. And what does Russell do? Another home run to left field. So batters at times will change things up just to get a different feel and different perspective, and it's working for Russell.
It sure is, and that was a good pickup. Mike Sparks, our EVS operator, picked up on that. Russell Martin's going without the gloves. Isn't it funny how hitters do different things? And you and I have both done different things. Use somebody else's bat.
Yep.
Try pine tar, no pine tar. Whatever feels different. You try something different. Got to mix it up. Ground ball. Iglesias behind. Castellanos throws Martin out. One down.
Yeah, hitters, players, they'll try anything. They'll wear different shoes. They'll try different fielding gloves, get a new hat. I've seen guys rip uniforms off their back after they've made errors or if they've struck out for the 3rd time. The poor equipment man's got to go out there and make a new one for him. But they'll change things up just to get a different feel.
Kevin Pillar is 2 for 2 so far this afternoon. He hit a 2-run homer in the 2nd and singled in the 4th. Pillar picked up a base hit in his final at bat yesterday. He got 3 straight hits. Hits this one towards second. Kinsler to his left. 2 down. Brian Goins has flied out twice to center field. A 1-2 for Higgins. Firing strikes as he's entered this ball game here in the 6th.
He was a starter down in the minor leagues, but they've been pitching him out of the bullpen, and he's been pitching well. Good overhand curveball for Verhagen.
3 up, 3 down for Verhagen. He strikes out Goins with a fastball called strike 3. He'll go to the 7th. 6-1 Jays.
Features an NFL season preview. Also in this edition, Christina Rutherford sits down with David Price. Download the latest edition in the App Store or visit sportsnet.ca/magazine to subscribe. Guys, a fantastic one-on-one with David Price in the magazine, and I spoke to him today about all the hats on the field. He said it was one of the greatest things he's seen in a ball game. He's falling in love with the city of Toronto, and that has to bode well for the Blue Jays' chances of bringing him back next year.
Well, it's a great atmosphere, and Price has talked about that several times since he's joined the Blue Jays. What a city it has been, and he's a guy about town. He likes to get out and see things and do things, and David Price has to be impressed with what he is seeing.
All right, now what is he doing? Signing?
That's a shin guard. He might be coloring up those white patches. No telling what he's doing, but he's always doing something.
Yeah,
he's
he
very
doesn't just sit there and watch the ball game. He does that, but he's always doing something.
He will pitch tomorrow, the opener against the Cleveland Indians, who are in town for 3. Slow curveball, and Martinez is behind 1-2. Mark Burley pitching here in the 7th, and that's significant. He now has, for the season, 171 innings pitched. Of course, he has a streak of 14 consecutive seasons of 200 or more innings pitched. Burley thought that was a good pitch. Looking in at Bob Davidson, said it's been a strike all day.
It was a good pitch, good cutter, but he didn't get the call on the outside corner. Mark threw 6 innings in his last start. That was at Texas. Trying to throw 7 innings for the first time since August 13th. That was 3 starts ago.
Yeah, his last 2 starts, a little bit of a rough patch for Burley. And he walks Martinez. Second walk of the afternoon.
Canada Baseball Day is presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Great afternoon for baseball at Rogers Center. It is Canada Baseball Day, and it's all presented by Honda. Everybody got a beautiful red Blue Jays jersey when they came in the ballpark. Nick Castellanos, the third baseman, is 1 for 2. We mentioned the 14 consecutive seasons of 200 or more innings by Burley. The last 2 pitchers to throw more than 14 consecutive seasons, 200 plus, were Don Sutton and Gaylord Perry, who had their streaks snapped by the 81 strike. They recorded 15 200 plus innings season, so Burley's trying to reach that plateau. It's a high fly ball to left center. Pilar is on the run. He gets to the wall, and he got a piece of it, but it pops out of his glove, and Pilar is laying on the track. He appears to be okay, and he might have been just frustrated by not catching it. George Poulos is out onto the field, the trainer, and
so is John Gibbons, and he's going to go to the mound. But Kevin Pillar looked like he might have just been a little frustrated, thinking he could have caught that ball. And if he did, you would have put that one right up there with some of the great catchers that we have seen. He's got a bead on it. He doesn't care about that wall. He goes back. It bounces off the wall, and it looked like he had it in his glove.
That's how you acknowledge the crowd. all season long, and this last effort may have been the best of them all.
And he came oh so close. Watch him go up. This ball is in his glove. It's in. He can win a long way. Watch when he hits the ground, it bounces out, and then he reaches back and he almost comes up with it. That's why you see him laying on the ground like that, upset with himself, because he had it and it bounced out of his glove. He reaches back and almost comes up with it. That would have been one of the best that we have seen, and he's had tons of them.
Bouncing ball up the middle. A run will come in. McCann is thrown out by Tulowitzki as Martinez scores. Mark Lowe pitched a third of an inning on Friday night through just 3 pitches. Part of that tremendous effort by the bullpen on Friday night to end up that game.
That third of an inning was a strikeout on 3 pitches, and he was credited with a hold in that game. John Gibbons knew something was up. He had him working when Mark started this inning early, and after a walk and a double, he goes to Lowe, so he is fresh and ready to go.
One out. A run in here in the 7th for the Tigers. This is popped up behind short. Tulowitzki going out into the outfield. Makes the catch. Castellanos holds third. Mark Buehrle, 6 innings plus 2 batters. The runner at third is his responsibility. Mark Lowe would like nothing better than to save this run for Buehrle. 2 outs. Anthony Gose has had another eventful day. Grounded into a double play his last time up.
It wasn't your typical double play, though. But turned beautifully by the Blue Jays.
It was a ground ball to first. Smoke looked to second. Iglesias, the runner, stopped halfway between first and second, sensing they were going to throw to second. And then it turned into a 3-6-4-5 double play. They executed the rundown perfectly to tag out Iglesias after Smoke stepped on the bag at first to retire Ghost.
3-6-4-5. Doesn't happen every day like that.
Shallow fly ball to left. Tulowitzki out. Revere calls for it. Good job by Mark Lowe. He saves a run for Buehrle. Tigers get one. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th. 6-2 Jays.
and a beautiful day to be sitting in those big, comfy green chairs in the TD Comfort Zone. Today we welcome guests of TD. Meantime, over in the Blue Jays Care Community Clubhouse are folks from the Jays Care Young Professionals Committee. We welcome everyone to the ball game here this afternoon. And guys, Kevin Pillar walked off the field looking pretty good, so I imagine he's not feeling too much pain right now.
Well, Barry, I don't think he experienced any pain at all. He was just frustrated that he didn't catch the ball. He had it in his glove, and when he hit the ground, it popped out of his glove. I think that's why he laid there and kind of just stretched out, frustrated that he didn't make the catch.
Yep.
And he almost grabbed it the second time when it popped out of the glove. He reached for it, and Ben Revere was right there to go after it for him again. David Price is just a ball player, isn't he? He wants to play. Revere grounds out. Well, Mark Burley has been supported by great defense, and who's at the top step? To acknowledge Pillar, and what a great effort by Pillar, and Burley appreciates that, man.
He didn't care about that wall. The determination on his face when the ball left the bat was, I'm going to make this catch, and he darn near came up with it.
Josh Donaldson is going to hear the chants of MVP for the rest of the season. He got it all started today with a one-out home run in the first inning. That was his 11th first-inning home run this season, most in baseball.
And it's his 11th of the month of August. 11 home runs in the month. Only Nelson Cruz with 12 has hit more this month. Jays have hit 11 home runs in this series.
Jays are a very good hitting ball club, no question about it. Maybe one of the best we've ever seen in this franchise's history. And when they get to the soft underbelly of a pitching staff, I mean, they just wear it out.
You make a couple of mistakes and they make you pay.
Jays have 3 more 30-homer hitters in their lineup this season now. With Encarnacion, he hit his 30th in the first inning along with Donaldson. His was his 36th. Double barrel action for the Blue Jays. The left-hander Brett Cecil, the right-hander is Aaron Sanchez. Donaldson strikes out. 2 down. Well, the Yankees are in Atlanta wrapping up their season against the Braves. They will then go to Boston to take on the Red Sox tomorrow.
And they are winning big in that game.
There's the AL East standings as we speak. Baltimore 3 games under 500. You know what's odd about this game? The Blue Jays have only 6 hits. Make it 7. That sounds a little bit better. Bautista with a 2-out single. Now it's time for Drive of the Game. Canada's Baseball Days Drive of the Game is presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
He has had a major league leading hard hit rate since his hit streak, and Edwin Encarnacion shows it again why he has been so hot, hitting over 400, drives this ball over the wall in right field for his 30th home run of the season. And that is our drive of the game this afternoon. 28%. That's the hard hit rate. That's how they determine that. Any ball stat measures how often a hitter records a hard hit ball. Encarnacion's rate is more than twice that average of a major leaguer in that span. I mean, that just shows you how unconscious he's been at the plate.
1-0. Well, it's hard to get all of the superlatives into an at bat for Edwin because he's always doing something. but his 3-homer, 9 RBI game on Saturday extended that hit streak to 24. It's now 25. And he did it with 9 RBIs. There's only 2 players that had a 6 RBI game in that kind of hit streak in the past. A hit streak of at least 20 games into that hit streak to have a 6 RBI game. Well, Edwin took it even further. He had a 9 RBI game. The 2 other players, Rogers Hornsby in 1922 and Hack Wilson in 1927. 2 of the greatest run producers of all time. And Edwin had 3 more RBIs than they had.
Amazing. Just amazing.
Fouled off the catcher's mitt. Edwin reaching that 30 home run plateau. Has done it for 4 straight seasons. And you see Bautista also with 30 home runs this season. Joe Carter had 4 30 home run seasons. And Delgado is the franchise leader with 8 seasons of 30 or more home runs. Base hit to right. Bautista was off on the 3-2 pitch. He'll go to third.
Well, you wanted some more hits, and the Blue Jays must have heard you. Bautista with a single, and now Edwin stays on that pitch. They're pitching him away, obviously trying to pitch away from his power. His last 2 home runs have been to right field, and now he takes this ball to right field. A fastball down and away. Edwin's been on 3 times this afternoon as Bautista makes it over to third base.
Jeff Jones, a pitching coach, out to the mound. The bullpen is stirring down in right field for the Tigers.
Canada Baseball Day is presented by Honda Canada, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Blaine Hardy, left-hander, loosening up. We've not seen him in this series. Troy Tulowitzki has gone 1 for 3. Blue Jays went down in order in the 3rd and also in the 6th, but it's the only time they've gone down 3 up, 3 down. Drive to right. J.D. Martinez comes in and makes a knee-high catch. Tulowitzki's had a couple of good at-bats this afternoon. Blue Jays leave a pair. We'll go to the 8th. 6-2 Jays. Aaron Sanchez coming out of the pen. telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. 4 home runs hit this afternoon. Russell Martin hit his 17th home run in the 4th inning. Donaldson and Encarnacion hit solo home runs in the 1st. Pilar hit a 2-run shot in the 2nd, and Martin also a 2-run home run. Aaron Sanchez into the ball game to pitch the 8th.
We saw Aaron on Friday when he had a 1-2-3 inning, a couple of ground balls and a line out. There are his numbers in 27 games, very good earned run average. Righties have not had a lot of luck against him when he pours that fastball in. He gets a lot of ground ball outs with that sinking fastball.
Sanchez last pitched on Friday, and he had a 5-pitch inning. He retired Kinsler, Cabrera, and Victor Martinez on 5 pitches. Good defense, a couple of great defensive plays in support of Sanchez. Tulowitzki and Smoke combined on that great play in the hole. Smoke dug out the throw, and then Donaldson made a nice play on the line drive off the bat of Victor Martinez. Here comes Pilar, no problem there. Just another day at the office for Kevin Pilar.
That play you were just talking about the other day where Tulowitzki and Smoke finished it off was the leadoff batter, Ian Kinsler. And you never know where it's going to lead when they make great plays like that. And now Kevin Pillar's going to do it again for the first batter here. Rajai Davis to center field, and Pilar says, "You're not going to get a base hit on my watch." First out of the inning.
That's exactly the mentality he has. That's a good way to put it. Kinsler gets jammed. Goins from the shortstop side of the bag. Ho-hum.
Blue Jays have done a good job against Ian Kinsler. He came to this game with 50 multi-hit games, #1 in baseball. He doesn't have one now because of this. Brian Goins with that strong arm and records the out at first base.
We have seen some great second basemen play over the history of this franchise. Damaso Garcia, and then you have Robbie Alomar, of course, Orlando Hudson, Aaron Hill. I'll tell you what. What's your impression of how Goins matches up with those?
Robbie's still #1. He's still the best second baseman defensively, but since we have been watching Brian Goins, he's getting close. He's making those spectacular plays look very easy, much like Robbie Alomar did. Orlando Hudson, I always thought, was #2 behind Robbie in defensive second baseman, but I didn't see the spectacular plays that we're seeing now from Goins and the ease in which he's making them.
1-1 to Cabrera.
Well, at least it looks easy.
He's making them look easy, that's
Yes,
for
he
sure.
is.
2 down. Cabrera had a hit taken away by Josh Donaldson. He picked up an RBI on the 5-3 ground out. Tell you what, the Blue Jays have really pitched Miguel Cabrera tough in this series. He came in red hot.
Got a single his first time up on Friday. Hasn't had a hit since.
Cabrera is 1 for 11 in the series. Cabrera says, "I got on base." He celebrated the walk, a 2-out walk here in the 8th. They have really pitched him tough. So J.D. Martinez will come to the plate.
You see Sanchez upset with himself, and on the other end, Miguel Cabrera happy that he is on base. Hey, I got to walk.
Cabrera, he really enjoys the game, doesn't
Yes, he does. We saw him yesterday having some fun.
He's not enjoying this season for sure. The Tigers on the verge of slipping to 60 and 70. 10 games under 500. Ball in the strike to J.D. Martinez. He's grounded out 3 times. All of those groundouts to the left side of the infield against Burley. Sanchez thought that was a strike. Russell Martin, his catcher, felt the same way.
Was close.
Base hit into right field. Cabrera will stop at second. Mark Burley is in line for the win. It would be his 14th win of the season. He goes 6 innings. 2 runs, 1 earned run on 5 hits, walked a couple and struck out 2. With the 6 innings now, that gives him 171 innings for the season.
Burley's won 13 games. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times out of the last 6 years. This would be number 14. He hasn't won at least 14 since 2008.
And put him on the leaderboard in the pitching department. Colby Lewis, Colin McHugh both have 14 wins. Felix Hernandez and Dallas Keuchel have 15 wins. Drew Hutchison, David Price, Mark Burley, all with 13 wins. Victor Martinez. Well, Sanchez isn't getting any corner calls at all.
Very close. It looked like he had a couple of them to the last batter, J.D. Martinez. These guys in the middle of the lineup here are as good as anybody. They can hit for average. They can hit for power. They drive in runs.
Goins is out in right field. He'll take it and throw to first to end the threat. Sanchez gives up a walk and a single. The Tigers strand a pair. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th, 6-2 Blue Jays. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell and Greg Zorn. It is Canada Baseball Day here at Rogers Center. It's all presented by Honda Canada, and the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame has done a great job of setting up this display out in center field. A lot of great Blue Jay articles. You saw Joey Votto's uniform, Fergie Jenkins, Larry Walker, and the great Tom Cheek. His picture's out there. Bob Elliott is in the Hall of Fame for his wonderful writing, and that's what everybody has on their mind, that World Series trophy, and this team is shooting for that this year, of course. Bruce Rondon comes into the ballgame. This will be his 26th appearance and his first appearance in this 3-game series.
First appearance. He is now closing games for this team. Big, hard-throwing right-hander from their farm system. Rondon's got a good fastball and a pretty decent breaking ball. He's allowed 3 earned runs in his last 10 outings, allowing just 5 hits over that time.
Smoke Martin and Kevin Pillar for the Blue Jays. Justin Smoke 0 for 3. We mentioned yesterday Smoke was on base 5 times. He had 2 doubles and 3 walks.
Sent a ball to center field his last time up. That was in the 5th inning. Just missed a home run. '99.
That'll work. 1-2 to Smoke. Triple digits. 100. It's amazing how many guys you see around baseball that throw over 100.
It is amazing, because years ago you'd see 1 here, 2 there. You know, now everybody has guys in that bullpen 95 plus.
It's a bouncing ball up the middle. Iglesias near second, throws to first inside. Remember when it was such a big deal that Nolan Ryan threw a ball 100.3 miles an hour and everybody couldn't believe it? He was the only one for a long time. Now there seems to be one in every game.
Every inning. They throw harder every time they come out of that bullpen, one right after another. Rondon's thrown 22 innings now. He's got 31 strikeouts.
So Martin pulls it in the hole. Iglesias throws, and it's offline. Russell Martin sans gloves. 2 hits, been on base 3 times. We might never see those gloves again.
Yeah, the way he is swinging it now, he's been on base 3 times. Like you said, he walked, homered, and now he's got himself an infield hit. No chance for Iglesias to throw out Martin at first base. Russell running a little bit better after the Blue Jays gave him a couple of days off. Beats that one out.
Russell takes great care of himself, and he knows the rigors of catching every day in the major leagues over the course of a 6-month season. And so just a couple of days, he can do wonders getting the time off, and the training staff, he has acknowledged what a great job they've done with him, keeping him as fresh as possible. Kevin Pillar 2 for 3. Homer in a single. He drove in 2 runs with that home run in the 2nd. We mentioned earlier that the Blue Jays have scored 715 runs. That is more than 23 of the 30 teams scored the entire season in 2014. Ball on the strike. Upstairs. Another note on the offense, they hit 2 home runs in the first. Donaldson and Encarnacion both had solo home runs in the first. The 18th time the Blue Jays have had multi-home run innings this season. It's tied with the Seattle Mariners for the most in baseball. 3-1 to Pilar. Kevin Pillar's home run in the second came on an 0-2 pitch. First time in his career they homered on an 0-2 pitch.
Saw a couple of breaking balls and then jumped on the second one. Gave the Blue Jays that 4-0 lead in the second inning.
Pilar walks. He's been on base 3 times. Number 9 hitters Ryan Goins. Been shut out so far. He's 0 for 3 in the afternoon, but Goins has made a couple of fine defensive plays here this afternoon. Took a hit away from Anthony Ghost, caught a line drive in the third, and then made a terrific play on Ian Kinsler. Top half of this inning.
And anything you can give me offensively is a bonus.
Drives this one to left, and that's going to get down and go all the way to the wall. Martin's going to score. Right behind him, here comes Pilar. Ryan Goins with a 2-run double.
And there's your bonus. He was able to stay on top of that ball. That was a ball that he was popping up to the left fielder early in the season, but he's made the adjustments. He has made his swing a little bit more compact, where he keeps that bat right on the shoulder, lets that ball travel deep, watch him, and then stays on top of that ball. That's how you drive the ball. You create backspin to get the ball past the outfielders and get it to the wall for 2 more RBIs. Ryan Goins driven in 35 runs this year.
Yes, he has. 2-run double, his 12th double of the season. Back to the top of the order. Ben Revere is 0 for 3 with a walk. First time he has hit leadoff for the Blue Jays. Revere had his second 4-hit game since coming to the Jays yesterday afternoon. He had a double and 3 singles, scored a run, and drove in a run in yesterday's game.
Boy, we were talking about the depth of this lineup for the Blue Jays. 7, 8, 9. They've scored 5 runs this afternoon.
It's really a challenge for opposing pitchers and pitching coaches to put together a game plan.
They've been on base 7 times. 7 times, and they've scored 5 runs, and there's another one sitting out there. Goins.
Berto Osuna was up, and then those 2 runs came in to score. He sat down, and now Cecil and Bo Schultz are throwing.
Trying to get some work for his closer, and now he's thrown a ton of pitches already.
And that's generally the trend you see with closers when they come in a non-save situation. It's hard to have a clean inning. He strikes out Ben Revere. So Josh Donaldson will get to the plate once again. Donaldson with a solo home run into first. 2 outs. Goins at second base. .100. The Blue Jays, with 8 runs scored this afternoon, have now scored 167 runs in the month of August. That ties the 4th highest run production in a single month in franchise history. They also scored 167 in June of 1990. The highest month run production, 193, May 2003. There's a little blooper, and Bowen's got a good break. He's around third. Here's the throw from Ghost. It's cut off. 168 in August.
An RBI number 106 for Josh Donaldson. He's up against a very tough right-hander, and Bruce Rondon. You could see he was throwing triple digits, 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but he has locked in, even though it's 8-2. He is grinding, and he will score Goins with the 9th run of the afternoon, and that will take Rondon out of the ball game.
21 pitches thrown to record 2 outs, and Rondon is charged with 3 runs. Donaldson at first is his responsibility. Blaine Hardy into the game.
Sportsnet, what are you waiting for? This show is hilarious. It features in-depth sports analysis, fan-favorite classics, and must-see guests. Even guys like LaTroy Hawkins was on live last week from the field here. You can catch them weeknights right here on Sportsnet or connect online 24/7 at Tim and Sid. Buck?
Thank you very much, Barry Davis. New pitcher in the game is the lefty Blaine Hardy, making his 59th appearance. You know, things aren't going well when you bring a lefty in to pitch to Jose Bautista.
First time that we have seen Hardy in this series. So Brad Ausmus getting some of his relievers some work. That's his best pitch right there, is changeup. Fastball, curveball, and a changeup. Time to Bautista.
Bautista's splits are identical as far as the batting average. He's hit .244 against lefties, .244 against righties. Just 4 of his 31 home runs have come against the lefties. One goes all the way back to the screen, and Donaldson moves into scoring position. It's a 9-2 ball game, but you still got to play the game the right way. That ball goes all the way back to the screen. You got to move up. You got to give Bautista an opportunity to drive in a run.
I'll tell you what, the Blue Jays have given the fans this weekend something to cheer about.
Yes, they have, and Hardy strikes out Bautista. The Blue Jays put another 3 spot on the board. We'll head to the 9th. It's 9-2 Jays on the verge of sweeping the Tigers.
One store, yes, it's J Shop, Canada's official team shop for your Toronto Blue Jays, bringing together the largest selection of Blue Jays products anywhere. Visit us online at jshop.ca, and whether you want to buy one of those fancy red caps or the Canada Day-like jerseys the team is wearing today, you'll find everything you need. And Buck, they're becoming very, very popular. Maybe a good idea for a 3rd jersey or 4th jersey somewhere down the line, huh?
Well, I tell you what, everybody's getting into the spirit of things, and they brought extra E's for the double E and the sweep. New pitcher in the game is Big Bo Schultz, his 27th appearance, as he's trying to close out this 3-game sweep.
Bo was on the mound yesterday when the Blue Jays finished off that 15-1 win. Gave up a hit in his inning, also had a strikeout, trying to do the same thing here this afternoon.
See Castellanos chatting with Bob Davison about that first pitch strike. It was a nasty sinker. Russell Martin kind of got handcuffed on it. It looked a lot worse than it actually was. You can see it was clearly in the strike zone on the pitch tracker. Mark Burley will improve to 14-6. This is his 26th start. Well, Burley with 20 decisions in 26 starts, and his innings total up to 171. Certainly 200 again within his reach.
Yes, 29 to go, and probably has 6 starts to go.
Tomorrow night, the Cleveland Indians will be in. It'll be the first game of a 3-game series. David Price will open up against Cleveland. There's a little flare down the right side. That's going to drop for a base hit. Bautista over to play it off the wall. Castellanos will stop at second. He's had a 3-hit game. Catcher James McCann grounded out to short to drive in a run in the 7th. That's good fastball, 96 in a good spot. The bullpen has really sorted itself out, and everybody knows their roles. It's almost on cue that they know when they're going to pitch. Sanchez and Osuna have been the 8-9 inning guys. Hawkins, he knows that he's going to probably be a pitch in the 7th or maybe even the 6th from time to time, but the starters have been so good nobody's had to come out in the 6th very often.
They've been pitching deep enough, and you're right, everybody knows their roles.
Ground ball up the middle. Tulowitzki spins and fires. Another terrific play. That looked like a base hit all the way.
The boys in the dugout certainly enjoy that, watching them play good team defense. That is a play that's going to take away a hit and an RBI. Watch Tulowitzki start at shortstop and gets a good break. Louis Rivera was talking about him the other day. He's so long, he's got a long stride, and he covers a lot of ground when he goes to his left. With those long strides, and takes away a hit from McCann. Watch how far he goes. Look at the strides. He's 6'3", and with those long legs, he can cover a lot of ground. And finishes off the play with a good throw to first base.
You know, we put red stars in our scorebooks for defensive plays. That certainly earned another red star. Castellanos is tagging at third. Bautista unloads a throw and stops him. That's the best throw we've seen from Bautista since April.
And the fans appreciate the efforts. Jose getting fired up. He doesn't want the Tigers to score another run. Accurate. Right to home plate.
Two and 0 to Anthony Gose. Tulowitzki near second. Ball game. What a great series for the Blue Jays. They showed all of their skills for the 3 games.
You got the great pitching. You got the great defense and outstanding offense. They scored 29 runs in the 3-game series versus the Tigers. They hit 11 home runs in the 3 games. and sweep the Tigers, and now wait for the Indians to come to town to start tomorrow night.
Great defense, clutch hitting, great pitching. A 3-game sweep, 9-2 Jays. Now here's Jamie and Greg. Blue Jays Central. See you tomorrow night.